Learning Legal Assistant Week 15. Magic Law in the Wizarding World. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Believe me when I tell you that this video is about law. Stay with me. We are first introduced to the wizarding world of Harry Potter in the book Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and it only seems right to start off my analysis of magical law in the wizarding world by starting with that very first book. If you've not read the Harry Potter books, this video contains many spoilers, so do not continue watching it if you have not read the books and think you might want to read them in the future. There is one major law that governs the wizarding world, and that is that magic is to be kept a secret from those who do not themselves practice magic or know what magic is. That means keeping it secret from the muggles. Muggles is a term for a person who does not possess supernatural powers. In other words, people like you and me. The law is called the International Statute of Wizarding Secrecy and was passed into law in 1692, according to Chapter 5 of Quidditch Through the Ages. As in the case with all laws, there are institutions that exist for their creation, interpretation, and enforcement, and the wizarding world is no exception. The first time the Ministry of Magic is mentioned is in Chapter 5, Diagon Alley, of the Sorcerer's Stone, during an exchange Harry has with Rubeus Hagrid. This exchange starts when Hagrid says, "Ministry of Magic, messing things up as usual." Harry responds by asking, "There's a Ministry of Magic?" and later asks, "But what does the Ministry of Magic do?" Hagrid responds, "Their main job is to keep it from the muggles that there's still witches and wizards up and down the country." I find it interesting, all the laws that are in the wizarding world, that is, especially now that I'm a legal assistant. Within the Sorcerer's Stone, there are a few random laws that are mentioned here and there. I'll mention some of them. This is not a conclusive list, so if you think of some more, please leave them in the comment section below. Owning dragons is illegal. In Chapter 14, Norbert, the Norwegian Ridgeback, we learn that Hagrid was hatching a dragon in his hut. In a conversation between Harry Potter and Ron Weasley, Harry says, "Hagrid's always wanted a dragon. He told me so the very first time I ever met him." To which Ron responds by saying, "But it's against our laws. Dragons breeding was outlawed by the Warlocks Convention of 1709. Everyone knows that." Performing magic, if you're expelled from a wizarding school, is explained to us in Chapter 4, The Keepers of the Keys, as illegal too. At least, this was the case for Hagrid, who was asked Harry not to mention any of the magic he performed because it'd be great if he didn't mention to anyone at Hogwarts that not supposed to do magic, strictly speaking. When Harry asked him why, Hagrid responded that "I was at Hogwarts myself, but I got expelled, tell you the truth, in me third year. They snapped me wand in half and everything." However, I am unsure if everyone who gets expelled from a wizarding school is not allowed to do magic, or if it is on a case-by-case basis. In Chapter 15, The Forbidden Forest, it is mentioned that killing a unicorn is a crime, and according to the Harry Potter fandom website, unicorn blood is probably a non-tradable item since the sale of the substance is controlled by the Ministry of Magic, making it strictly forbidden. When Harry and his classmates were in the Forbidden Forest while serving detention, they were looking for what had been slaying and drinking the blood of unicorns in the forest. While in the forest, Harry meets Lyndsey, the centaur, who tells Harry, among other things about killing unicorns, "The blood of a unicorn will keep you alive even when you're an inch from death, but at a terrible price." Students using magic outside of school while still under the age of 17 is also illegal, according to the Decree for Reasonable Restriction of Underage Sorcery, which was passed in 1875. We hear a little bit about it, but we do not get more about it until we get to Book 2, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. While preparing for this, I started to realize how many laws Hagrid constantly breaks while still trying to do what is right. There are, of course, plenty of Hogwarts rules Harry, Ron, and Hermione and others in the wizarding world break, but those rules are not laws. In the future books, we learn more about other laws and the punishments for breaking them, as well as a legal system. Thinking about these laws from a legal assistant's perspective is very interesting. Imagine having to move for or draft an order for something of some sort of violation of Wizarding World law. those would be some interesting things to draft. However, the Wizarding world's legal and court system are different from what we have in the United States. We'll get more into that later, and we will talk more about magical law in the Wizarding world in the rest of the books.